Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's God killing a house. And I come to do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, man, y'all know what it is, man. Bobby banging this bitch. Man, it's that Friday show that I do every Friday, man. Giving y'all a little entertainment and some knowledge to go with it. Man, I appreciate everybody, man. Y'all know how we do it around here, man. Like and subscribe to the damn video, man. If you ain't subscribed, man, you playing. Don't play. Don't play, because we ain't playing. Man, let's let the people get up in the building, man, and hear this good lecture, man. Science and slavery, man. Have y'all ever made the connection? A lot of times y'all talk about scientific racism and mess it all up. A lot of times y'all want Africa to have science before it was even ready. Let me tell y'all be wanting too much, man. Sit back and enjoy the lesson for the day. It's going to be a good one, a quick one, sourced up. That's how we play it around here, man. Man, big up to all the people in the building, man. Vince, I see you, man. Big up, man. Growing with soul, man. What's good, man? It's all love from the ATL, man. Metatron, man. What it do? What it do? What it do? Jason Northcutt, what it do? What it do? What it do, man? 31 people ain't enough to get this started, man. Gambino, Green Thumb, what it do? What it do? What it do? Man, let the people come in, let the haters come in, let the participators come in, and let the ones that spread love come in, man. God good one, man. Gideon, I see you, man. Yeah, I always got that fire, bro. I ain't never sitting back. I'm always bringing the fight. Because I understand it, man. Trying to figure out how I want to go with this. Maybe I should go with the Atlantic World Slavery and Modern Science. Maybe I should go with Newton. Newton. Y'all know who Sir Isaac Newton is, right? Newton and the South Sea Company and the financial machinery of the Atlantic slavery. Maybe I should jump on Newton. We've been talking about Newton a lot. Maybe I should go with, let me see. Maybe I should go with slavery and the scientific revolution. West African medical knowledge, empire, colonialism, and early modern science, man. Let me refresh y'all memory before I pick which one of these I'm going to go with, man. Kareem, what's up with you? Objective perspective, what it do? Tina Key, what up with you? Let me refresh y'all memory for a minute here, man. Gotta refresh y'all memory just for a minute. All right? In case y'all forgot. You know what I'm saying? In case y'all forgot. I don't want y'all ever to forget. All right? Don't ever forget who you are, man. So we come right here. All right? This is important. Colonial demarcation line between the Castile, Spain, and Portuguese in 15th, 16th centuries, man. You know, I always talk about how important chronology is. That's right, smack dab in the scientific revolution, ain't it? Now, if you've been following this lecture series, man, it got a little derailed because the pseudos jumped out their body and claimed they had something that they didn't have. It takes an exorbitant amount of money to fund the scientific revolution that is groundbreaking and brand new. I say again, it takes an absorbent amount of money, all right, to produce a scientific revolution. Brand new thinking, brand new lands discovered, all that is in play. Y'all just think about science and talk that crazy talk. Y'all forget about the mind shift. If you go to the community of skeptics, man, serial killers, man, you'll clearly see how we laid this thing out for everybody. It's a way of thinking about the world, right? But not only is it a way of thinking about the world, it's a way of gaining knowledge, a way of thinking and gaining knowledge. There's a constant statement in the community which immediately disqualifies matured science. Mystical spiritual thinking cannot be intertwined with the data. Man cannot be the authority. Say again, man cannot be the authority. Y'all got to get this. Man and God cannot be the authority. Let me say it that way. 3 points here. 2 has all to do with man, and based off of how you believe, you're going to say I'm tripping. So I'm saying that man made God. You may say God is the authority, and I'm saying humans had to get out of the way of God. But anybody that read any daggone religious text know that a damn man or woman wrote it. So that would mean man gave rise to God, and I would add, through ignorance and fear. I would add that. Then you get the natural philosophers. You get African philosophers, you get Greek philosophers. We know a lot about the quote unquote Greek philosophers, so we'll stay right there. But philosophy is not just a Greek thing, it's also an African thing, it's a Chinese thing, and different people on planet Earth have came up with their philosophical views. Right? But that still includes man. It's not till we get to the point of quote unquote looking at the natural world or the phenomenon, because that's what science actually seeks to study is the phenomenon. But how in the hell can you study the phenomenon if man is in a damn way? You can't. Man getting away based off his biases, based off his cultural container, based off his deities, based off his belief system. There's a point in time when knowledge was gathered up and it wasn't based off of man, belief systems and cultural containers of ideas. And it wasn't based off of philosophy, i.e. Greek philosophy or African philosophy or Chinese philosophy. It was based off of measuring the data you get from the natural phenomenon, whether that phenomenon be hurricanes, volcanoes exploding, rain, the sun shining, all natural phenomenon. Now bring this map right here because this map is very, very clear on what happened during the time of quote unquote AE colonialism. Line of demarcation is called a demarcation line. Lines of demarcation 1493, 1494, and 1529. Source Wikipedia. Pope Alexander decreed the bull and courier that the lands west of South Pole to Pole line, 100 leagues west of South, and any islands of Azores or Cape Verde Islands should belong to Spain. Portuguese objected because the status and rights had been omitted and overlooked. King John II of Portuguese began negotiations directly with the King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain to push the lines west to allow him to lay claim to lands discovered east of it. Treaty of Tordesillas. I'll click the button again and show you how they drew the line. That's arrogancy at an all-time high, bro. How was they able to draw a damn line down the map? you would have to discover those lines, those continents left, or those two purple lines, a dotted line, a straight line. That brings us to my point of my damn lecture. You don't even know what you're looking at. The Egyptians, the Chinese, the Australians, the Greeks, indigenous Africans, indigenous Europeans, Stonehenge, would have had to discover the whole world to put the damn pieces together. But they didn't. Colonial powers, luckily, based off of the Muslims slowing down the Ottoman Empire, choking out the daggone Silk Route to the west, made these Europeans have to go in another direction. And they bumped into the Bahamas or Barbados. Luckily. So there's some luck that would go into formulating science, y'all. You got to get lucky. You got to be able to measure all the plants on the earth, right? Against each other. You got to be able to know that there's 7 continents instead of 3. Remember, the church thought it was 3. The biblical texts only talk about 3. Europe, Shem, Ham, and goddamn Japheth. Let me put it to you that way. Shoot. So y'all don't get confused. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is Africa. Shem is the damn Middle East or Asia. And Japheth is Europe. All right? There you go. The Greek philosophers only know about 3. All right? Bet. So we see this document. There's one more document I want to show you. It's another one. Also important. Let me get it. Let me get chair. Yeah, this is important right here. All right. The doctrine of discovery. On this day, 1493, you know they say that's when Christopher Columbus discovered the world. Blue or something like that, something crazy like that. All right. The sources will be underneath the daggone video. So you know I'm a science communicator. So please, y'all, don't be hating. I'm just damn communicating. So I'm not going to sit here and teach my people how to be science advocates and not give them the full history of it and how science came to be. So Pope Alexander VI, right? Demarcation bull. All right, this is the Gilder Linneman collection. It says on October 42, Christopher Columbus landed in the Caribbean islands. He called it San Salvador and claimed it for his king, queen of Spain. Just read that. Let me move here, because I think this to be very, very important. It says interior criteria also was Spain's conquest with the Holy Mission. See, what's the Holy Mission, y'all? Imbued Spain's conquest with the Holy Mission. What the hell is the Holy Mission? And this is why I'm the real black atheist, communist skeptics. Because I'm figuring out, once you read documents like this, how the hell are you going to be a Christian? Muslim would you at this point? How? So, spreading Christianity was the damn holy mission. And it's only holy because they said it's holy. It says the Pope stated that any land not inhabited by Christians was available to be discovered, claimed, and exploited by Christian rulers, and declared that the Catholic faith and Christian religion be exalted and be everywhere increased and spread, that the health, this is the one to get me to the health of the souls be carried for, and that the barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to the faith itself. Well, who the hell is the barbarous nations? Those barbarous nations, barbarians in North America, and those barbarians in Africa, and those Muslim damn barbarians. That's the hell they talking about. So that ain't never settled with me. This is an actual document. All right? And it's amazing to me why people get at me for being a real black atheist. I'll be like, really? Huh. Look at the dates. Dates are important, aren't they? They put you in line with time. It helps you to understand where the hell you at and how you getting there and why you even there. It do. All right. And for me, hold on, let me do this. For me, it brings clarity to the situation. So 1493, huh? All right. Remember, this is one of the first presentations right here. Global timeline from indigenous knowledge to modern science. Cumulative development of scientific thought across civilizations. So it takes time for knowledge to accumulate. Certain mind frames have to be developed. A lot of times, the thing that made you great is the thing that stopped you from developing past proto-science. Right? And I did a lecture on magic. Go back and look at the lecture I did on magic last week. Important. They all flow together. Very coherent. Let's get you some dates real quick. All right? Evolution of scientific thought. We take that back 350,000 years to 3000 BCE. Y'all know the period right here. This we dealing with the Mesopotamia and the Egyptians, right? All right. Y'all screenshots you need to do. Then you get the classical expansion. We deal with the Islam, the golden age of the Arabs, right? Or the golden age of Islam. There's a pseudo book called the Golden Age of the Moors. It never was the Golden Age of the Moors, right? It was the expansion of the Arab Empire. We must put these things in correct orientation so that we can understand it historically and know where the hell we're supposed to be. We study the past so that we'll know the future. But if you study something wild and pseudo, you ain't even gonna understand your future. You're gonna be very confused, right? Look at the time periods. Scientific rep 1700s CE, where you get to systematic empirical investigation, experimentation, mathematical laws defined, right? New era discovery, right? This is all doing what period, y'all? If you're an African American, you should be seeing something different here. Modern science emerged in 17th century, institutionalized 18th, 19th century, globalized. Damn slavery. Your ancestors was in slavery. 17th, 18th. Think about that. Jim Crow, 1900s, 20. Think about all that. Put all that in your mind. See, if you sitting there thinking that you was running free, that's not what it was. Your ancestors was fighting and reading, right? That's why I get so mad when we go over documents and people act like they can't read or comprehend it, or when people around me start talking about that anti-intellectualism. They forget where the hell they was at. I ain't never forgot where I was at. I know where we was in 1600, 16 or 1493. And man, I know where the hell my people was at. But do you know where we was at? So these dates that are important to us, right? That we can recognize why the need for speed, why the need for us to understand comprehension. Comprehend what I'm saying. It's important. It's paperwork on a situation. That's why I get mad when people call out the FBA and make up a wild history. The black traders, a bunch of garbage, man, and y'all fall for it. The dogs roll, bunch of nonsense, man. Let me get back on track. So I've given you how they drew the lines down the map. I showed you that. I showed you how they put out the creeds, Catholic Church, Christians, and felt like, y'all, first of all, why we gotta have a soul? That's a Christian idea. Did we agree to that? No, we didn't. You gotta be enslaved, not being able to read, and have no understanding of your culture to start saying a lot of that stuff. Saying a lot of stuff we say today because we are ignorant of our past. Thus, we don't know where the hell we going. We don't know who to vote for. Should we vote? Should we not? That's why I always push scientific literacy. Because scientific literacy is the vaccine against the charlatans come amongst you and say, don't get educated, don't read, don't go to college. The hell with STEM. Right. So we cooking. So we'll do this real quick. Let's do the West African thing. We're going to do the West African thing. West African medical knowledge and the Royal Society uncovering the archival evidence and the historical credit. We got the Kyle. He put this in the Discord. Very interesting read. It also talks about one of my favorite persons. When I did some research, I ran across this source maybe 5-6 years ago when I started talking about Onesimus. All right. I forgot about the source. Kyle brought this back to my attention and requested we put some work on it. So I'm going to drop the link early and often after I get through this. It's just a couple slides, man. You want to know what the hell was going on during the scientific revolution? You want to know what your people was doing, yo? That's this one right here. It ain't hard to figure out. It's right in front of your face, man. Make sure y'all show some love. Hit the Cash App. I'm going to drop the Cash App, man. All right. Show some love. All right. Somebody say family aren't going against the white. Y'all crazy. Man, being educated is going against your enemy. Your first enemy is ignorance, ladies and gentlemen. Ignorance ain't got no color, man. And I'm trying to show y'all, bro, like there's always standards and standard bearers, those to set the standards. And the ignorant amongst us ain't going to set no standard. It's just not going to happen, yo. They're not going to set the standard that we can move forward to. Education always rules the day. No matter how squeamish you get, no matter how much you think I'm teaching the white man, I call myself the real black atheist, man. I don't call myself the real white atheist. Call myself the real black atheist for a reason, man. That's real. You just got to understand that. Now, I don't expect everybody to agree with what I'm saying, but man, look, I'm laying it down. You ain't going to find nobody that's going to put the thing together for real, because we put it together around here, man. Let me share this link in here before I even really get deep into it. Let me share the link, man. Man, make sure you like and subscribe, man. We on sa.neter TV, right? Later on, I'm gonna be on the Community of Skeptics, man. Make sure you like and subscribe over there. We trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, man. Big up to sa.neter and the whole House of Conscious family, man. Big up. How they say, bless them up there. Bless them up. Bless them up. That's what the Rasta minds say. Bless them up. Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I'm going to tell you something slick, though. Stop worrying about the white man, yo. Y'all tripping. Stop giving them more credit than it really is, yo. That's real. So, let's get this cracking. I think it might have been one more source that I wanted to use. Man, yo, people just start calling out of nowhere, yo. Let me turn that off. All right, hold on. All right, let's get straight to it. All right. So we just set the time for y'all, right? Scientific Revolution is doing these periods right now. I want to focus in on West Africa, right? To show you that Africans have been participating while they was in slavery based off of the resources being taken from their country, right? Their ancient knowledge was transferred to the scientific revolution. You got to get that. So just because y'all all Egyptianed out and think that the only thing cracking is Egypt, that's y'all fault. Y'all elders taught you that way. I didn't learn it that way. I learned the global understanding. Listen to John B. Clark and gave me a global understanding. So I'm going to take y'all to West Africa, something you may not be familiar with, right? And what I want to do is real quick is I want to bring you the source that I'm working off of right here. West African medical knowledge and slave trade and the Royal Society. I'm going to say this again. West African medical knowledge, the slave trade and the Royal Society. Bam. You got that, right? Carolyn Roberts. Now, that's the source we're operating off of. That's just one of them. So here you go. The core revelation. Carol Roberts' research reveals that British scientific networks activities sought, collected, and published West African medical and botanical expertise, due to its practical value. However, the African knowledge holders were often uncredited, while European intermediaries received recognition. So a lot of the scientific revolution we're dealing with medicine came from these indigenous places. They got no credit, specifically West Africa. That's one of the things that helped fuel the scientific revolution is really getting a deep understanding of medical plants. How did they achieve this? By robbing and stealing. Yeah, they wasn't asking permission. Colonizing. Right? Colonization. Let me hit the brakes real quick. Stop right there. We stopping at the medical plants. Don't let your mind go astray. We're going to stop right there. I want to move a little bit in front of the scientific revolution for y'all. Right? Remember I said they bumped into the Americas, right? Well, not the Bahamas, Barbados, right? Based off of the Ottoman Empire messing up the Silk Routes. Now, hold on. I believe it's the Ottoman Empire, right? The Ottoman Empire? I would like to show you this source real quick here. This is serious. Let me get back on the authority for a minute, right? Just for a minute. So we talking about thinking. West Africans had medical plants, right? And, it actually served to keep their community as healthy as possible, no doubt. But there's another type of thinking that has to take place to move it forward into the scientific revolution. We talking about the way you think. There can be no magic attached to it. When did the authority of the phenomenon take place, y'all? Right? Epistemic regimes is a way of thinking about knowledge. A regime, groups of people, right? Rupture, explodes into this knowledge. And I know y'all didn't know that a lot of the knowledge they was using was coming from plants and stuff that was collected from indigenous places, right? But first of all, you got to know where the hell indigenous places is, don't you? Right. They bumped into it, right? So if you come right here for a minute, we trying to establish the authority of the phenomenon. Remember I talked about earlier? I talked about how man and God was the authority up until this point right here. Now, if you look at Leonardo da Vinci, some of y'all are not familiar with him. He actually painted the Sistine Chapel with God and the Adam and Eve with the finger. That's his painting, right? But he was also an inventor, right? And he actually worked for, let's see, hold on. He worked for the military, right? Made all kind of inventions, technology and stuff, right? So let me see right here. Military engineer. He was a military engineer, right? So basically, let me see right here. He was a painter. I just talked about that. Anatomy, order. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. As a sculptor, he mastered difficult techniques, casting. Okay. As a producer, director, Renaissance, dramatic. Okay. Devised. Let's see. Okay. He devised, complicated machinery to create special effects. That was in his place. But it was his military engineering that he observed the path of a mortar bomb being lobbed over a city wall and insisted that the projectile did not follow two straight lines. A slanted ascent followed by a vertical drop. As Aristotle has said, it must. Once again, Aristotle said that the daggone follow two straight lines and slanted accent followed by a vertical drop. He basically saying the shit was a slanted line, didn't just dropped out the sky. That's what Aristotle said. Now, Aristotle is a philosopher. He's a Greek philosopher, right? That's why when I studied atheism, it brought me to the Greek philosophers. I had to break away from Kemet. While y'all was all lofty and happy about Kemet, broke away. And when I got there, I got to the Greek philosophers. Now you see how it's coming together. We all heard from the elders about Leonardo da Vinci, but they told you he painted 16th Chapel. To hell with his artistic. What the hell was this man inventing? And what role did he play in pushing this new thought that would give authority to the damn phenomenon? That's what the hell we should have been learning. But you get it when you get it. So basically, Leonardo da Vinci was like, wait a minute. Leonardo and his colleagues needed to know nature truly. No amount of book learning could substitute for actual experience, nor could books impose their authority upon the phenomenon. Meaning, no matter what book you wrote or write, Bible, Qurans, regular books, right? You can't oppose no authority upon the phenomenon. When I'm talking about the phenomenon, I'm talking about naturally occurring events. But this is exactly what the Greek philosophers did. Aristotle, he talked about a damn vertical drop that didn't occur. It say what Aristotle and his commentors asserted as philosophical necessity often did not jive with what could be seen with one's eyes. It says the hold on ancient philosophy was too strong to be broken lightly, but a healthy skepticism began to emerge. Yo, that's why I got the community of skeptics. I'm trying to get y'all to be skeptical. That way you might not end up in a damn cult. You should be saying, I don't know. I don't believe you. So basically, Leonardo da Vinci, by inventing certain things and being on the battlefield and seeing the way cannon fire actually happened as opposed to what the Greek philosophers were saying, he was like, they wrong. Okay? So, but that still wasn't enough to break the hold on ancient philosophy. That way, it was too strong. Right? Aristotle and them had a grip on the world. Europe foundation is in Greek philosophy. African foundation is in African philosophy. I've been trying to break y'all away from the philosophy for years, but y'all throw tomatoes at me. Now watch this. Y'all say, what the hell has this got to do with anything? Watch me bring it home. The first really serious blow to the traditional acceptance of ancient authorities was the discovery of what, y'all? The New World. Look, at the end of the 15th century, goddamn, Ptolemy the great astronomer and geographer had insisted that only 3 continents, Europe, Africa, and Asia, could exist. And Christian scholars from St. Augustus on hand accepted it. I'm going to say this again. Augustine had accepted it. What did they accept? That it was only 3 continents, y'all. Europe, Africa, and Asia. Right? It say, but Ptolemy, St. Augustine, and a host of other authorities were wrong. But wait a minute. That's interesting. The dramatic expansion of the known world also served. Look, listen closer to the wording. This is important. The dramatic expansion of the known world. So now the known world expand. You ever heard me say, yo, check this out, bro. Read the damn Bible, read with a damn map. I was trying to tell you, I was giving you a gem. That's why I tell any Christian, when you're reading the Bible, any Hebrew, when you're reading the Bible, any Muslim, when you're reading the Quran, read it with a damn map. Because what will come into focus real fast is, as you look up the place, you'll find out that they never was talking about the whole damn world. And it's obvious because the Bible don't mention nothing outside of Europe, Africa, and dag on quote unquote Asia. Shem, Ham, and damn Japheth. Well, the Greek philosophers only knew about 3 worlds: Europe, Africa, and Asia. But that's not enough to get you to science. You got to, baby, look at the whole thing and catch the whole diversity. So the dramatic expansion of the known world also served to stimulate. What does this stimulate? The Egyptians couldn't be stimulated because they didn't know about the whole world, not unless you follow an Ivan Van Sertima and that nonsense. See? Follow that pseudo nonsense, you swear we was here already. But then you're going to miss your lesson. So it served to stimulate the study of mathematics. Watch this. Watch the code. For wealth and fame awaited those who could what? Turn navigation into real and trustworthy signs. Well, where the hell the wealth come from, yo? Traveling the world. The wealth came from what? What was the global economy? Slavery. So that wealth is amassed through slavery, nothing else. I'm going to say this again for the people in the back that's slow. The wealth that is amassed comes through slavery. It is the global economy. It is the first commodity traded. Right now, if you're in New York, you can go right down to Wall Street and you can see a particular sign. And it talks about the first commodity trade on Wall Street was your ancestors. So you had no idea that the wealth amassed from your ancestors was what fueled the institutions, the colleges, universities. They had wealth. The university could invest in this. Some of the people that are known to be great natural philosophers and great scientists, they invested in slavery because it is the global economy. It is the impetus of the scientific revolution. What is the foundation of the scientific revolution? What is one of the foundations? God daggone money. Unlimited amounts of money. Now you got a reason to float over there to Africa. We can get some slaves and then we can investigate their plants. So I ain't never seen these plants before. How about America? I ain't never seen these plants before. I've never seen these animals before. Now we can take them back and we can study them in our institutions. Did you know that the father of scientific racism actually had skulls sent to him from Egypt? And so those early skulls that they made up the pseudoscience was based in African skulls. You later on, you'll hear Diop's talk about the skulls, but they was coming from Egypt. Once again, the gift that keeps giving. Okay, so let's get back to the presentation. I wanted to show you why it was important to break down the authority, meaning the mindset. That was the authority, that man was authority. And the only way you could actually get to that was having the ability to recognize that there are other places that the authority that you're sitting on had no idea about. They was actually thinking people was walking upside down. I lie to you not, yo. Aristophanes, right, actually measured the size and shape of the earth, y'all. But he was actually thinking they was, if it was some people over there, they'd be walking upside down. Crazy work. Yeah, just because you can measure the size and shape of the earth don't mean you recognize it's moving. You gotta wait till Copernicus and them come along and figure out that, hey man, the sun ain't going around the earth is going around the sun and it's moving. All right, so right back. Let's get right back to our lecture. I just wanted to give you a little foundational work right there for y'all that's missed the lessons, right? What does this have to do with the scientific revolution, you may ask? The Royal Society connects British scientific inquiry, West African medical knowledge, and the British slave trade. European networks actively sought African medical knowledge for its practical application, not merely out of academic curiosity. West African medical experts provided cures and plants preparations, but their names and authority were often omitted from European records, unlike European collectors. Practical value recognized. West African medical experts. 26 questions sent about Guinea, covering climate, disease, and medicines. Medical plants. And their uses sent to James Pedera for study. Petavera. 1697. Year West African Plant Knowledge was published, and Philosophical Transactions. You know, we often talk about the Royal Society and how you needed to find a way to peer review, right? Well, they must have missed that goddamn peer review because they sure as hell lied about where they was getting the plans from and did not give the credit to the indigenous people. It's the damn gift that keeps giving, y'all. 1722. More requests for African pharmacy and surgical knowledge. Oldenburg, 1670 question list. Henry Oldenburg, Royal Society Secretary, sent 26 questions to Mr. Floyd at the Cape Coast Castle inquiring about Guinea's climate, disease, medicine, poison, and antidotes. Records. It says John Smith, an agent of the Royal African Company, y'all know the Royal African Company, they trade in slaves, right? Sent James Pedera, a collection of West African medical plants with detailed descriptions of their uses, later published in Philosophical Transactions. The knowledge chain. African medical practitioners and botanical experts provided knowledge. European ministers and company agents on the coast acted as intermediaries. Royal Society correspondents in London processed the information. The knowledge was then disseminated through printed scientific publications. But you got to be able to traverse the world to even do this. You got to develop a network to even do this. You got to be able to have and understand that there's a place called America and South America. You got to know there's a place called Africa. You got to colonize the indigenous people to get their material. You got to have the unlimited money that would fuel the scientific revolution, because now we have reasons to go back and forth. There's slaves and there's scientific innovation to be found. We need the stuff to work. And what better way to understand how things work? That would be through science. A new way of thinking filled by money. What money? The backs of your damn ancestors. Timeline, knowledge transfer. You need knowledge transfer. Key events and collection of West African medical knowledge. 1660, Royal Society and Royal Adventures trading to Africa founded, showing entanglement of science and the slave trade. 1670, Oldenburg sends questions about Guinea, targeting West African medical knowledge. 1686, John Smith hired by the Royal African Company, becoming a broker of African knowledge. Man, he ain't even telling nobody. He just getting it. He act like he banging. That's interesting. Very, very interesting, ain't it? 1 second. 1 second there. Hold on. Let me get 1 second. One second, man. All right, I read the Guinea slide. Let me get here. All right. Okay, 1696. Plants catalog published, bringing West African plant knowledge into English science. Pet de rare, man, and Guinea plants, ladies and gentlemen, man. They starting to catalog it. But you got to be able to have the technology to go back and forth to even begin the category. You got to have global networks to even do this, to recognize the diversity. Now you're taking stuff from different places. I'm just triangulating straight on West Africa to show you where your ancestors directly came from. They wasn't getting that from no damn Egypt, y'all. Y'all been played crazy. They got it from West Africa, where your ancestors actually come from. The damn gift that keeps giving. How important was slavery to the scientific revolution? You need money. 1722, request continues for African remedies, indicating sustained interest and value. Why British observers cared? West Africa, the West African coast posed extreme health risks for European employees of the slave trade companies, leading to short life expectancies. This strategic valuabilities made local medical knowledge critically valuable for empirical health, survival, and commercial drug discovery. So how important was those West African commodities? AE humans, AE plants. They all call them commodities. They weren't even thinking about you being human. Medical practice. Headache treatment. With stiff, dried, powdered plants. Swollen limbs managed with infusion from boiled plants. Application. Sores, wounds healed using pounded plant leaves mixed with palm oil ointments. Specific plant-based preparations. treatment, smallpox, wounds, toothaches, scabies. And the list goes on and on and on. And you know, we can run into that smallpox thing, huh? Yeah, you know, that smallpox thing about Nismus is that thing that, you know, actually give us the, you know, later on, that first generation vaccines. What the research shows does not show. What it shows is evidence of West African expertise, knowledge, extraction, Europeans, and empirical motives driving medical inquiry. Demonstrates the indigenous empirical medical knowledge entering early modern scientific work is part of the fuel for medicine. What it does not show, it does not automatically prove the existence of modern scientific institutions, controlled experiments, or peer-reviewed practices in the 17th century West Africa. It avoids anachronistic claims about modern laboratory medicine. So don't act like that just because they had the medical plants and all that, that it was based in science. It was not. It was based in their own regime of knowledge, their indigenous knowledge. I gave y'all the timeline, right? We almost finished. A balanced formulation. West African healers possess real practical observations-based medical knowledge, which British scientific actors valued and absorbed into the Royal Society networks. This powerfully challenged notions that African indigenous knowledge was irrational or medically useless. The summary, public explanation. West Africans were active knowledge holders whose medical expertise influenced European records. The Royal Society, right? This is where they get their first peer review from the Royal Society. I didn't know that? Right. Revealed that historically entanglement of British scientific inquiry and slave trade institutions, the best classification of indigenous and empirical medical knowledge, filtered through early modern European scientific publishing. Y'all can find it if you want to get it. We ain't gonna oversimplify this thing though. So the article that showed y'all demonstrates that African medical knowledge had empirical content, practical value, and significant place in the history of science and medical. However, it should not be used to claim that the 17th century West Africans possess modern biomedicine in the contemporary sense. Don't overwhoop it. And here's my source: the Royal Society, Carl Roberts, West African Medical Knowledge, Slave Trade, the New World, Labor, Development, Plantation, Slavery, and the British. It's all there. So we there. And man, I hope y'all got that, man. All right. What's up, Sal? What's up? What's going on with you? I guess he might be doing something else. All right. So that's where we at. I'm going to drop the link, man, so we can have that conversation now and see where y'all at. See if y'all over whooping and see if y'all got the message or not, man. Appreciate everybody for, you know, dropping into the lesson, man. It's a quick one. We get right into it. What's up, sa.neter? How you doing,
Nah, I'm sorry for bothering you, man. I just want to say, brother, you are very underrated as a teacher. And for parents to get their children real knowledge, I think they need to sit their children down and listen to you, man. When you're on this type of level right here, you know, I'm talking about when you're teaching by yourself, not with all the tomfoolery up here going back and forth. But when you're teaching, you're underrated. And the people, I think, don't appreciate you the way we should, you know, as a real bona fide teacher in this community right here. Nobody else doing this type of shit. With you and Cedric coming up here doing, teaching real science, real scholarship, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to tell you that I joke around a lot and I go in on you just so y'all can go in. But I really mean that shit, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, yo. That's why we right here on roast mode. You see that as a reason.
That's why I put you there. You know what I'm saying? So when I be joking around, don't take it serious, brother. I just be joking so you can turn up and go in. You and Cedric. You know,
we're gonna do that anyway.
Yeah, man, real talk, man. So I'm gonna keep on listening. I'm just listening in the background.
All right, I appreciate that, sir. Yeah, if y'all got any questions about this content I just presented, man. Let's do it. I'm gonna drop the link, man. Make sure you hit that damn Cash App, man. We drop this real quick here. Boom. All right, let's take a quick moment. Hold on. Hold on. Let me take a quick second right here, man. Y'all show some daggone love, man. Show some love, man.
Yeah. Look. Hey, Cash App. Baltimore. Yeah. Cash App, don't let it run you. Money fill the gas, but it never feel honey. Cash App. Dreams get so fast. If you don't own your time, you just rent your past. Cash App, screens full of flex. Real life hit hard when the rent come next. Cash App, tool not God. Use it, don't lose it, keep your head on top. Lend a mill, lend a bill, lend a pay me now. Everybody yell, get it like a sacred how. Timeline full of blessed, but the stress still lurks. Same folks posting gas, still drowning in hurt. Explosions of cash and the camera flash, but the lights cut off when you can't make it last. This ain't a trick, but it move like a spell. Type in the amount for that dopamine swell. Quick tap, quick send, quick high, quick drop. Then you back in the cold when the real don't stop. I done seen love turn transactional quick. Send some in the DM like that's all it is. Cash App, don't let it run you. Don't let it run you. Cash App, don't let it run you. Don't. Hard work, yeah, I respect that. But rest ain't weakness, I protect that. Cause money earn me nothing if your soul get thin. If you're always up next, tell me E when you win. They sellin' hustle like it's peace in the pack. But peace don't come from a green little stack. So send when you can, look out for your kin. But don't let the app decide how you feel within. Set them rules, don't be ruled by the buzz. Real love is a call, not a what's up, cuz. Cash App. Cash App, don't let it run you. Don't let it run you. Cash App, don't let it run you. Don't. Yeah. Baltimore.
Man, show that love, man. Y'all know how we doing it, man. You listen to the God Killer, man. Y'all know how we do it around here, yo. Never leaving out people behind, bro. Can't afford to do it, man. We need to step our games up, man. You know, around here, yo, we break away from the authority, man. We allow the phenomenon to be the authority, and that's just how they got the science. I think I was making a point, and the point was science is a way of thinking. It's a way of gaining knowledge. And I talked about sometimes the very thing that makes you great is the thing that gets you in the end. Gotta be able to make adjustments in the world we live in. All right? Let me see if I can drop the daggone thing. Gotta make adjustments. Let's talk about that for a minute. He said, I'm good. Let me see if I can get there. Man, let me put the link in there. Hold on. You know, the only reason you be mad that I'm saying the Egyptians ain't black is you ain't listening. Gotta listen up. You can't make a people something that the daggone people you trying to talk about didn't even have that idea in their head. That's ridiculous, yo. Because once again, you taking away their damn authority, yo. That's what we look for. We look for African agency at least. At least allow the people that you talking about to be able to tell a damn story. Remember, early anthropology, yo, wasn't even doing it. They was trying to explain African social knowledge systems in terms of the biblical context. They already had the flood story. Oh, they had the Christ. Remember how I used to say Egypt was Heru was the Christ and all that? Man, that's bull crap. Them people weren't even thinking about that. They had another idea of doing something, yo. Just like, so the thing that make you great, what's the thing that made the Egyptians great or other African societies? That they was very consistent in their knowledge base and always bringing forth the old. Just like the Egyptians, for example, they said the old is the best. Yeah, man, they was rocking for damn near 3,000 years. I know Nubia had an unchanged government for 2,000 years. You know how long that is, yo? America's only, what, 400 years old? Bro, You can't even name a civilization that Greece ain't last that damn long. So why the hell would the Egyptians change it for y'all? Y'all keep saying they needed something they didn't need. And I keep trying to tell you, don't listen. What they had made them great. They ain't need modern stuff to make them great. They needed the things they had in their time period that made them great. But the very thing that made them great, authority to man and to the gods and to magic, it's the thing that got them in the end. Them damn Assyrians was able to attack the Egyptians. Why? Because they had stone tools fighting against people with metal swords. You got stone. It's right here, yo. Y'all do know that, right? Yeah, y'all ain't never read The Destruction of Black Civilization. Y'all be playing, yo. Y'all be playing. Y'all play with me sometime. I'm like, man, why y'all playing? You know, knock y'all out. Man, somebody hit the daggone link, though. All right, let me go to the back here and find that section where iron is. Iron, I-R-O-N, iron. All right, iron. This is page 126, I believe. Let's see. The story of iron. Y'all know the Nubians had more iron than the Egyptians. All right, let's see real quick. See if I can get the 126 real quick, man, to get y'all up to speed, to show you how they scoffed at it. Iron. Nope. I see 131. I think I'm right. Dang. Iron, slowly, the blacks, however, Nubians. We had a chance to black y'all out too. Get y'all with the black card. Hard to determine the person based off that. Maybe it's one for it. Dang. Man. The growth of states, nobles, these southern kingdoms carried Ethiopians. They continue offer the Germans monopoly. They replaced the vast churches. Hold on. Man, I thought, nope, I ain't gonna be able to find that. Shit. You know what? I ain't gonna waste too much time on it. Let me see. Nope. 275. Nope, I'm hitting another time I can't find, but it's definitely this book. If y'all got to go to the back and just talk about how they had a monopoly, or how the priest class had a monopoly on it, and they wouldn't even, push the ideas of the younger people that were saying, yo, these dudes got weapons that ain't like ours. We need to move it forward. Lack of scientific thinking, yo, put them in a default, yo. That's what I'm saying. This community has fell. Big up to Chuck. Appreciate you, Chuck. Chuck say 7 a.m. here. Tune in. All right, Chuck. Appreciate you, Chuck. Must got something coming up, man. Need to go ahead and beat him up and stop playing with him. Chuck be playing with y'all, man. Chuck, seriously, what he do, bro? So we waiting for that lecture, Chuck. Absolutely, man. Man, listen, man. I might look at your questions. I might. On my channel, you got to show some support like Chuck just did for me to even answer y'all questions. Y'all wild out. I'm going to drop the link again. Anybody want to get on here and talk that talk? Y'all can talk that talk. Make sure you walk that walk, though. All right? Make sure as you type and talk that talk in the chat, you get up here, be able to walk that walk. Yeah, we know when Greek history started, man. So it was Greek history that actually brought me to Greek philosophy, which was the authority for 2,000 years until they stumbled into the Americas. So like I said, I'm going to do a recap. Foundation of the scientific revolution is the amount of monies that could be gathered and spent towards the scientific revolution. Now there's a reason to pay people like Leonardo da Vinci and them, right? There's a reason to pay Copernicus and them. There's a reason you need better equipment. Now you develop tools, and with tools you develop tools. Tools push scientific ideas, right? Working hand in hand, but you got an abundance of money. You ain't broke, right? You like them pyramids they built in Egypt. That mean they had some bread in the old kingdom. They stopped building because I guess it wasn't profitable. Now was it? No, it was not. It just took. But now we can build institutions. The institutions can invest their money. I'm gonna do a whole presentation on the community skeptics talking about Newton and them, right? And how they was really investing into this thing, science innovation. It took money, man. What was the money? If you're in New York, you can go right and read the sign. Take your babies and read the sign. I'm gonna see if I can show you all the sign. Take your babies, let them read the damn sign, man. It's right there on Wall Street, man. Reggie took me down there and went down there and read the sign, man. It's actually, let me see if I can find it. Trying to tell you. I ain't, look, let me see if I can find it. I got it. Hold on. All right, let me show you the sign I'm talking about. There you go. New York. Municipal slave market. On Wall Street between Pearl and Water Street. Put it in your daggone your GPS. All right. A market, right, that auctioned enslaved people of African ancestry was established by the Common Council Law on November 30th, 1711. This slave market was in use until 1762. Slave owners waited to hire out their enslaved workers, which included people of Native American ancestry, and day laborers also had to do so at the location. In 1726, all right, the structure was renamed the Mill Market because corn, grain, and meal, crucial ingredients to colonial diets, were also exclusively traded there. Slavery was introduced in Manhattan in 1626. By the mid-18th century, approximately 1 in 5 people living in New York City was enslaved, and almost half of Manhattan households included at least one slave. That's right there in New York, man. Right there. What's going on, man? What it do, Joe? What it do, bro? Oh, he fell off. So, right there. Right there in New York. Y'all can get there if you want, right? That's the sign itself. There you go. Right there, yo. That's the actual sign. Y'all can go there and figure it out. What's going on, Joe?
What did you,
Hey, man, just doing my Friday thing. You know how we do it, man. Just trying to get it going. You know how we do.
I heard that. And you know what? This is a really good point that you're raising right here.
Mm-hmm.
The more I think about it, it even made me think of, because you talking about how, like you need resources in order to advance scientific thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the administration right now, we lagging behind in a lot of stuff simply because of the lack of funding.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we're not trying to discover things and improve more stuff and research and all that. But if you don't have the funding, it's gonna stall.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
Yeah, it's gonna stall.
Fact. Yeah, everything gonna stall without the funding, ain't it?
Yep. That's a serious thing right there.
I don't think people they're not really focusing, right? We got to focus in. They want everybody to have science before it's time, but they don't want to deal with the blood, gut, and tears it took, right? You got to colonize the damn world, damn near, bro. You got to be able to access their plants freely. right? You gotta have a whole way of thinking. You can't think, like, for instance, when you go to Thales of Malay, right? He starts a scientific school, right? And I'm using the word scientific loosely because they did not have science. I'm using it as a placeholder. He developed a school, right, in the province, okay, of Ionia, where they didn't have a treatise on cutting open the body. They had treaties against cutting open the damn body. All right. In African countries, right, indigenous people do not disturb the grave. Later on, Europeans in there, they would dig your bones up, yo, and chop them up for science, yo. A lot of people wasn't willing to dig up their great ancestors, yo, because they thought it was a taboo. It's a taboo in certain places.
Shoot, it's pretty much almost taboo now.
It is, me. I better dig my mother up. Matter of fact, most of y'all watching this broadcast, when y'all die, y'all not gonna give y'all eyes the science, is you? They ain't gonna give your body the science. You can give your heart, your lungs, you can sign. I'm gonna get mine. You ain't gonna do it. Why not? Because your belief system won't let you do it. I know I ain't doing it, and I don't believe in God, but I ain't doing that.
Yeah, I don't know about that right there.
That's all I'm saying. Just trying to get y'all to see my point here, man. Yeah, so it's the financing, yo, that really did the whole thing up, bro. It's the financing, bro, at the end of the day. It's the money, it's the global markets, it's the investments created. And at 4 o'clock, I'm going live on the Community Skeptics, man. I'm gonna go in a little bit deeper. So I think it's important, man, for us to get that, man. What's up, Rebel Star? What's good?
Yo, Wagwan, blessed.
Wagwan, Rebel.
Wagwan, you blessed. You don't know, give thanks. Yeah, man, bless up to sa.neter and bless up to the people them out on the chat same way. Big up to indigenous black man, you don't know.
Yeah, indigenous he be scamming. Straight scamming.
Ankh,
but tell the truth. Teach everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't know. Indigenous know everything, man. He's the first one that say everything. But at the same time, Ankh, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
The information you're giving right then and the chronological line that you're giving is like great information and at the same time a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? Because see the root of science, or as you're saying, from that Western African standpoint, where these brokers or so-called brokers and thieves and, as you say, colonizers, they just come and kind of just like, and kind of have me on the fence as to, okay, the science give you the evidence and it goes into, and it doesn't care for color and all of that stuff, but just on the premise it was
not early on.
The premise.
Yeah, early on, they was practicing pseudoscience. Remember scientific racism, Morton and them. Remember I talked about the guy that was getting the skulls out of Egypt? That was Morton. He's the father of scientific racism. They actually thought that you wasn't even real. You was like some kind of
below.
That was pseudoscience. All that's in the game, though. See, we leave all them parts out. All that's in the game.
No, I'm just not arguing the science and the slavery and the belowing of the man himself. I'm just saying, like, you know, these guys were directly thieves and colonizers, and then the revolution started, so to speak. But the revolution started due to the fact that, you know, you knew what your bush was working already. You just was giving ISIS, or you were giving a reverence to something else, or you might, you know what I'm saying, you might add something to it, but you knew like, hey, this bush working for that thing. So it's like technically science is a thief, or these guys that build the Blue Vein Society and all these guys you're talking. When you check it out, it's like that is what I really taken out of it. When I take in the history and I take in all the information, but when I dissected it, I'm like, hey, it came at a cost to our culture, to our knowledge, to our, you know what I'm saying, our. Agreed.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Agreed. Your phone went out.
I think I know what he's saying. I don't know if I would word it the way he's wording it, but I get his point.
Yeah, it came. Science came as a cost, yo. That's why it's a human endeavor. Everybody played a role in it, and that's why it's so serious. Because sometimes, bro, you got to break rules and regulations to get to where you're trying to go on some things, like the treaties against the body, digging up the dead. Anthropology is based off of digging up old societies, yo. Indigenous people ain't running around digging up their daggone ancestors, yo. You feel me?
Right.
I mean, go ahead.
But you know, like so what Rebel Rob was saying, you know, it's interesting because, you know, like they did practice. I think his signal got jacked up. They definitely practice their style of medicine, right?
Mm.
And they had some knowledge of certain plants that did certain things, and it worked, you know, to a large degree, at least to get them forward to the next generation, right?
Yeah, they had knowledge.
But
They just didn't have pharmaceutical shit.
right,
Yeah,
okay, that's what
herbology.
I was going to say. But like knowing like active ingredient and what to actually pull from a plant, and then how to actually like research it and falsify it. You know, because
No, they didn't have that system. Yeah, they didn't have that system. Yeah, they didn't have that.
right.
Yeah. No, they had that system. That's why it's a human endeavor. It took humans.
Mhm.
It took your knowledge, right? Took West African
Right.
knowledge, right? It took the knowledge that was being revolutionized based off of the discovery of the Americas. You see what I'm saying? Them two worlds got to meet, baby. Them two worlds got to
Yeah.
meet. At what cost, though? It costs us too
Yeah.
damn much to be talking crazy about science right now. How about that? It costs
Well,
us
that's
too
it.
damn much not to understand the subject that I'm talking about. It costs us too much for us not to participate in. Unlike the Nation of Islam, where they handed out pamphlets during a pandemic, talk crazy about vaccines, but did not have a crew of people that could go to school, immunologists and virologists that could actually study the damn thing and let us know whether it was safe and effective instead of just looking at the shit in the sky and saying, oh, it ain't real. Craziness, bro. So yeah, we lost too much for us to act crazy about this new way of gaining knowledge because we're definitely capable. Always have been, always will be. That's my point. Costs us too much.
Cost a lot, especially us, in particular African Americans.
Yeah, we was the economy. Native Americans
Yeah.
got wiped out.
The diaspora, I should say, actually.
Diaspora Africans and the Native Americans got wiped out. That's why as an African American, why you gonna play Native American? Too much. You tripping. Disrespectful. Yeah, all of it's disrespectful, yo. Yeah, I ain't accept none of that. Yeah, I ain't accept none of that. Yeah, it's all disrespectful, yo.
Yeah, you got somebody else up there.
Kim Netter, what's up? Did I say it right?
Nothing, man. Chilling. Yeah. I was about to say you did a good show. You was on point with this, man.
Thank you, bro. I'm glad. I know.
You know what? What you gonna say? You know what? Go ahead.
I don't say nothing. I'm gonna say I'm gonna take you when I get it and fight you when I agree with your call. I appreciate it though, yo. Seriously. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good example. Like the 1697, what they did with those 40 Africans, you know how they took all their work. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And then you got the what is it called? I think it's called the Calabra bean, if I'm saying it right. They took a bean that basically they used to map the neurological system in your body and stuff like that, and then they end up using it later on for like what they used it for. I'm tripping. They used it for like glaucoma and stuff like that. They took all that from them. They didn't give them credit on that, and they did the same thing with the cola nut and. Yeah. So yeah, they was stealing from us for sure.
Yeah, they wasn't, and the stealing part is the fact that you didn't give us credit. That's thievery, yo. You didn't give us credit. and you enslaved our people to do it. And they just started giving Onesimus credit. I swear, people cuss me out for talking about Onesimus and how, West Africa played a role in the development of vaccines.
I don't
Crazy.
know why they do that.
Man, listen, bro. I talked about inoculation 5 years during the pandemic. They thought I was mad, bro. That's gonna be in
I
my.
don't know. I don't know. I gotta go see what you said. I don't know what you said, but yeah.
That you don't listen. You don't get to the third generation's mRNA vaccines without virilation, which is inoculation coming from West Africa. All right, point blank. They was wondering why the slaves ain't over there messed up during those pandemics of smallpox. They was wondering why the African slaves wasn't tripping, because they had medicine from West Africa called virilation, where you cut some pus, you take some pus from an infected person with smallpox, you scratch the arm or cut a slit in the arm of a healthy person, you put it in there, that person will get sick, it will cause an immune response, and you will have antibodies against it, and hopefully your ass don't die. If you don't die, then you got immunity to the damn smallpox. So
yeah, they didn't know nothing about that. They was wondering why we wasn't dying.
Right. They was wondering why we wasn't dying. They was wondering why we wasn't scared. First, the second point is that the smallpox didn't even kill us in the Americas, those slave colonies, right? Because we had this treatment for ourselves. The thing that got us with the Europeans was all sick and dying, and ships had the ships with the cargo, with the products and the grains and shit, was stuck out in the water. They couldn't come in because they had them on isolation. Starvation got us, right? White people being racist was like, they the ones that gave it to us, and they finally broke, right, and accepted that medical knowledge. So anyway, bro, I know the whole story. I'm not gonna leave no parts out. But I know how important, and that's why it's not the white man's science, right? It's a universal thing. That's why I want to give the roles of what we played in developing what they call modern science. We played a key role in it, yo. Our free labor and a lot of our knowledge, and it wasn't Egyptian knowledge. Just for the record, we're in another part of Africa right now. I just want to give it fair. It's got to be fair across the board. Everything can't be Egyptian, yo, at a certain point, yo. It can't be. You ain't gonna get your lesson right.
No, I never claimed that.
Excellent point.
You see, I didn't even mention no North African stuff at all.
No,
that's why I was finna say what you finna say, because I ain't mentioned none of that.
I ain't on you. That's for the people listening. For the people listening, man. It ain't on you at all. I ain't putting nothing on you. Man, make sure
I know to stay on the topic.
Yeah, you good. We ain't gonna fight over Egypt. Fights over Egypt. Doom, 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 doom. That's always fun. I might start that one back up again. See where y'all at. See how much better everybody got at the conversation.
But they did have some free people over there in New York in the 1600s, 1700s, and stuff like that. They wasn't all slaves.
No, everybody was slaves. Nope.
Yeah, very small fee.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a couple of them was some BS, some of our people, but the other ones was just free,
Yeah, we played it. We did it. We did it all.
Dude, you had some free ones down south that owned some slaves. It wasn't many, but I mean, still had some. And I ain't talking about ones that had slaves to free their family. Not that. I'm talking about some that actually.
I know. Slaves. Yeah, some of our people played the game too.
Yeah, it's part of the economy, man. It don't even make sense. That's why I think it's wild when you hear people try to cast a negative eye against African Americans. Oh, they crack babies and they sell crack and drugs. Wait a minute. You jokers sell crack and drugs too. Matter of fact, you did it before us in the 40s.
I was about to say they made it crack and drugs.
Yeah, come on now. So it's the economy. So everybody who's trying to get somewhere participates in the economy. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that works, man.
Mm-hmm. That's real. Yep. That's real. Let me see what the chat got to say. Somebody say, glad I moved to the middle. What you mean? I always gave a balanced approach. Then we got somebody else says, the problem is modern science is being rated as superior which can't be true. Oh, wow.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was about to ask that question too. I don't know what that means.
What y'all two brothers think? Modern science has to be superior. I don't know if that's the right word, but I'm gonna use the word they're using. It's more technical. Like so. All right. So
I
remember we
wouldn't
was
say
talking about.
superior. I would say more advanced.
Okay. All right. I can go with that one too. Because think about it. Like right now, you don't even need to smoke marijuana. You can go get a gummy
Yeah, you ain't
and
got
get the active ingredient. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody thinking about that. Ain't nobody thinking about that part of botany back in the day. Come on, stop it.
You know what I think people miss? They don't believe it to be a global venture. They think it's a white person invention. Just because something matured in Europe doesn't mean the ingredients that went into it came from Europe. Right?
Yeah, I run across that argument a lot when I'm citing scholars and stuff like that. People, oh, that's the white man science. I'm like, oh, y'all niggas is crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy. And because science is a global venture, first of all, it took people being able to navigate the globe. And I just explained it. When they navigate the globe, they do what? They go to different places and get what? They get their knowledge and they formalize it in a different way of thinking about that same knowledge. AE medical plants. So eventually they go from the medical plants to the Nile Valley head, the West African head. They go from the medical plant, they get you the point of the active ingredients. So the reason I would say modern science is superior than all of a knowledge is because for the first time in the annals of history, everybody got a chance to wade the fuck in. And we can take what humans have created collectively, right? Because it's a collective effort to get the science, right? We can take that and look back onto ancient societies, hunter-gatherers, West Africa, anywhere you want, and we can sit down with these societies and get their knowledge and put it in another frame of thinking and get more out of it. How about that? I got you. Let me show y'all something.
Plus, I don't know if it's a fair statement to say that Europeans have the most advanced science because
I ain't saying you. What you mean?
No. I'm saying if somebody say that, if somebody was to come out and say
that's great.
I'm saying that might not. You might be ignoring places like Japan and China. They're doing some really hot stuff. You know what I'm saying?
More superior. It's called a need hand. You ain't looked that up, did you? Here you go. This one.
No, not yet.
Julian Percy, yo.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pioneer in chemical synthesis of medical drugs and plants. What do y'all think that is? He synthesized he unlocked the active ingredients in plants. It's an African American right there. Put some respect in his name. He was a millionaire.
Look, and I was about to say, then when you give them an African American scientist that do the high level work, they say, oh, he brainwashed or he getting funded by the white people, so he gotta say that. Like niggas be just tripping.
Yeah, see, that's just they self-hating at that point.
I earned a doctorate in chemistry. Was the first African American chemist to introduce to the National Academy of Science, and the second African American scientist after David Blackwell. Introduced into the organization of any field. Throughout his career, Julian received 130 patents, and he got credit for them. Yeah, he synthesized plants, man. He took out the active ingredients, steroids, all that, birth control, all right, all that. So come on, man. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what y'all know. But the dude was serious. Matter of fact, he was so serious. He went to DuPont, Harvard University, University of Vienna, right? I mean, they ain't even when he went to Harvard, they wouldn't even let him sleep in the dorm. He had to sleep in a store some damn where. Crazy. Yeah. Crazy, yo. So we didn't went through too much for us to throw our nose up at it. You can still be religious. Keep your damn religion. We ain't talking about no damn religion, though. We talking about somebody that did this. Cortisone, production of cortisone. His work His work laid the foundation, look, for the steroid drug industry, production of cortisone. Come on, man. Birth control, artificial hormones led to birth control. Like, whatever, man. Y'all playing with this thing. Y'all don't want the real knowledge. Y'all just want to play with it, bro. Man, hit the cash app. Let me see how many cash apps I got today. Not none.
People just want to be mad, man.
And they mad at me about, oh, why they be mad about this one? That's terrible.
Mad at everything. Angry. Oh, shoot, man.
Yeah. Get that nigga now. He talking crazy. You know he got the white man science.
Yeah, and so let's talk about the white man science for a second. This goes back to what you said with what you were doing your build on.
Got one. Hold on, we got one.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, dead black man. Appreciate that love right there. All right, need 4 more, then we doing our thing. 4 more. All right, go ahead, make your point.
It takes funding. All right, so I remember one time when we was beefing over the fights over Egypt. Somebody said, yeah, man, y'all using the white man's work because they that's the Egyptologists and blah blah blah. And I was like, where you gonna get the money from? You gonna do this work? Where you gonna get the money from to write all these books? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I mean, y'all, they trashing us and not really thinking about, man, you need funding. And most of these folks ain't gonna come out their pocket every Sunday instead of putting it in church, give it to a fund, like the pad the pockets of people who trying to do some research work in our community. They not gonna do it. All they're gonna do is just run their mouth. They gonna kick that money out. They ain't giving up their bread. I bet you that.
They not gonna do it. Big up to Alex Pete, man, and the pseudo killer army, man. Big up. Big up. Intelligent brother right there. Now, it seemed like to me the whole conversation is like counterintuitive or something, yo. You know what I mean? Just seemed like it. Like I say one thing and they think of saying another.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, man. The white man signs. Like, I never understood back to the Nation of Islam why they didn't send some people to school.
Because that money, they don't want to kick that bread out, huh?
Biology, what you mean they had all the free money, all that money we gave them, yo?
I didn't say they didn't have the money. They won't kick it out.
The whole what they like my man John Henry Clark say, what the hell they do with the money? Hey, 2 of them, bro. Come on, bro. You send somebody to school and you be independent science group. You didn't know you could be independent? Nobody sits around and trusts the damn government, y'all, for the record. I don't even know why they think that. You have independent scientists that will check the data. That's why it's called science, because you can independently void from anybody giving you money, right? If Nation of Islam had enough money to supply a lab could be 2 rooms, right? You can have 4 virologists in there that you pay for their education, get their doctorate, have the proper equipment, trained, and you check the damn data. That's what independent scientists do in the white community, independently of the United States government, and then you check the shit. That's how you do that. You don't sit around and make guesses over the health of your damn people. That's what I can't stand about this community. Y'all sit around and let charlatans make guesses about your health instead of knowing. Y'all claim not to be religious, but when it comes to something you don't understand, you get right back to religion. You start believing. You believe that navy beans and a damn mask is going to help you independent. You believe that. You didn't know.
Where you get navy beans from? You mean black seed oil, man? There wasn't no navy beans.
It was navy beans. They be like, made navy beans. I ain't made that.
No, it was black. It was black seed oil and elderberry tea, man. You got the wrong formula.
I'm talking about the Nation of Islam, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. And the funny person say, I trust the white man data. Man, y'all silly. Y'all smoking. Y'all tripping. Trust nothing. I'm a skeptical. I'm a skeptic. I messed that up. I'm a skeptic. What's up, Cedric? What's good, man? Stop calling the primatologist pseudo, man. What's wrong with you, man?
He's not a primatologist.
He is. He is, bro. You mixing up the psychologist guy.
George Peterson. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a pseudo. He interviewed the primatologist.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I say, Lord, I woke up this morning getting shot by somebody in the crew. How? Damn.
I'm wrong. Gotcha. Yeah, it was early. I just saw the Jordan Peterson. There you see assumptions. We draw premature conclusion based on deductive reasoning. I saw something and I deduced a conclusion. That's jumping out the window right there. Yeah, that's jumping all out the window. And I literally did. How much you post that? About 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, that was an awesome presentation. The work we're doing is important, and I think Sarah recognized it. We are synthesizing everything. People getting ahead of themselves. They forgot who we are and what we represent, and we're gonna always bring it back to understanding our role that we played in this whole equation. Right. But you have to set the record straight. You have to put the groundwork in. And then you're able to recognize the contributions, how they were made, where they were made. Like we always say, it's nobody's responsibility to teach us our history. And since nobody wants to do it, let us do our job. We are not up here for kicks and giggles. I appreciate what Saw said, because he recognized what we are doing. Stay out of our way and trust that we are going to tell you the whole story.
Yeah, we'll get the whole story, yo.
Never been a moment that we did.
Right. And I ain't gonna start you off with the black algae.
Yeah.
You gotta prove you want it. You gotta prove that your pillar ain't because they black then they right. You can't get it that way. Your bias is in the way. I gotta take you down in history. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? Gotta give you historical accuracy. And whenever the racism come in, we're going to talk about it.
We're going to deal with it head on.
Yeah, I ain't going to start off with something
proper framing. That's called proper framing. Right?
Proper framing. Right. Come on, man.
We don't overwhoop. We don't undermine. We didn't leave these Europeans in their glass cages. Like we took them off the shelf. Y'all got to really appreciate the work we're doing. And again, it has always been our responsibility, our job, to promote scientific literacy. And in doing so, you need to be historically accurate. And telling our own story, we are always going to find that nuance. But like you say, we can't jump out the window and the Africans invented vaccines.
Yeah, you're doing too much.
Right. That's facts right there, son.
So proper perspective. Again, this whole endeavor, we cannot forget that Homo sapiens evolved on the African continent. Everything that mankind fundamentally is developed on that African continent. There is no way to exclude the African continent, its people, from the foundation of knowledge that we have. It was the point you made that modern science appreciates those indigenous cultures more than anything we've been seeing the last couple of weeks from our own people.
Yeah.
Who claim to love the indigenous African cultures, who would claim to appreciate them so much, cannot put them in their context and understand that foundation of empiricism, that foundation of knowledge transfer, that foundation of understanding and engaging with your environment was home, developed, and was thriving up until today on that African continent. We never missed a beat where that is concerned.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, this was full synthesis. This was beautiful. I mean, and the work continues because, of course, as educators, we never stop. We continue to build. But this was a beautiful synthesis. This was full circle. Where does the money come from?
Yeah.
How do we get to establish these type of institutions that last for 400 years? They need a grounding of funding. There is an impetus for this type of work now because of the opportunity to gain capital, to be part of the world economic stage. And what was the world economic stage? You had the African Trade Company, you had the West Indian Trade Company, you had the Indonesian Trade Company. Those were three of the larger ones I can remember. And what were their main commodity in trading?
Slaves. Use cattle. Chattel slavery is called. Chattel slavery, my man. Y'all forgot all about that. Y'all, everybody cheering on side. Yeah, we had it. Well, where your slaves at? Where's your discovery of the new world at? Where's an exorbitant amount of money that you ain't got to worry about because it's free labor? Where that's at? You need all that. Where's your luck at that you bumped into a continent? Y'all be acting like they had planned trips to the Americas. So y'all messed it up right there. You need some luck. Serendipity.
Do we experience an epistemic rupture in the Egyptian culture, or do we have 5,000 years of solid history built upon principle?
Yeah, they said they don't know it. They say, we had the longest running government, unchanged government. Listen, unchanged government. Yeah, you killing yourself. You killing yourself for science. Our ancestors thought old was the better. You killing yourself. The old can't be the better.
Tradition over empiricism. It lasted 5,000 years. That system worked. So there's no epistemic rupture within the Egyptian paradigm. What we see is conquest, a failure of the state, but no paradigm shift. Interesting.
Here's a question. Can we agree it was a paradigm shift from the hunter-gatherers to them?
Oh, yes.
All right. See, that's another reason.
Most definitely.
See, that's another regime. Y'all don't respect that, though. Y'all want to skip the steps. See, nature do not allow you to skip the steps.
Again, formalization of the indigenous beliefs, animism, the formalization of that produced a civilization of high integrity. Y'all denying that their epistemic regime was the epistemic regime of that era. Like, on the one hand, Egypt was the greatest civilization, the breadbasket, everybody came into Egypt, and Egypt this, Egypt that, Egypt that. And now you do not want to recognize their tradition, their history, and the longevity. The fact that culture stayed intact, there was no epistemic rupture, so there was no impetus for the development of science, because science requires serendipity, requires finance, requires motivation, but it primarily requires the collapse of your epistemic system. How you gain knowledge needed to collapse. That never took place. 5,000 years of solid history.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, even with that, what they had was the super level. It was super duper. They made everybody look like hunter-gatherers. Yeah, sometimes you gotta respect what a person did, yo. I think we don't respect what our ancestors actually did. We want them to do what we did. Right? I'm gonna show you the Turin map. Y'all familiar with the Turin map?
No.
Map of the gold mines in the Turin papyrus. Here's an Egyptian map for y'all. Yeah, let me show y'all. Right here. It's the Turin map. All right, of a gold mine. One of the earliest maps. Serious work, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Don't underestimate it.
Yeah.
Don't talk crazy about it. But let me show you right here. Let me show you this map that was gained from right here. A new map. What's this? Turquoise globe? Am I saying it right? Turquoise map. According to the ancient discoveries and most general divisions of it into the continents and oceans, dated 1700 to 1701. Edwin Wells. How you say it?
Terraqueous globe.
Here you go. Yeah. You talk about this all the time. The new maps. You went from a sailor that went there, like, hold on, y'all tripping. There you go. The new map of Turquoise. Am I saying it right? How you say it? Turquoise. Go ahead.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna figure it out.
The Turquoise.
Yeah. Turquoise. Yeah, the Turquoise map.
Here you go. Here you go. Yep. They ain't had, see that left side, yo, that's new. That right side, they had an understanding of that.
What does terra cruis mean? Because terra means land, right? Like terra firma.
Yeah, the land, the
land, what's cruis?
the terrestrial, right? So the land specifically focusing on the land. The map specifically focusing on land.
Yeah. Let me make it bigger so y'all can see some other interesting facts on it. Hold on. Y'all see that right there? It says parts unknown to the ancient. What did that say? Unknown to the ancient world, to the ancients. Yeah, parts unknown to the ancients. They ain't knowing about none of that.
Yep.
See, told y'all.
Yeah, none of that.
Stop playing around. Yo, the evidence is all there. You just gotta know how to look at it and know what the hell you're looking at. None of this. Egyptians, they need all this. They need the left side. It'll change their whole thing. And they start saying, you know what? Ankh and them was fools.
And this map was developed when? So about 100 years of sailing at this point, right?
Oh, man. It's a 1700. No, 1701. 17, yep.
Yes. So yeah, let's say 1500 to 1700. That's 200 years of sailing produced this.
You would have to start talking crazy about the Egyptians right here, 1700 to 1701. You got to start talking crazy. So the Egyptians got to literally start talking crazy about their ancestors. I know it sounds wild. Yep, you got to say, you know what, they was wrong. I seen the attempt to do it, though. They attempted to do it with the Edmund Smith papyrus, and they put the spells right back on it. Took it off, put it right back. It didn't catch on.
Yeah.
Right?
This dude was crazy. He forgot the spells.
Yeah, he lost his mind.
John, who wrote this? I think Andrew wrote that. Was he drunk? He forgot the spell.
He drinking that Egyptian beer. That scribe. They probably went and talked to his father because it was the aristocrats that went to school, to the scribal schools. Did you know that your son left off the magic? What the hell wrong with that boy?
What's wrong with it?
You know what? We're going to leave him alone. We're just going to put it back. There you go.
Please talk to your son. He has these rebellious tendencies that is disturbing the honor. You need to speak to your offspring, sir.
You mess up the universe.
Look. The king will have his head.
Yeah, you're gonna mess up the universe, yo. Yeah, remember they murdered the Greek philosophers. Y'all forgot, didn't y'all? They killed them. Socrates, they took him to court. Death penalty for saying that it wasn't Zeus.
Yeah.
The God thunder and lightning. Court the death penalty for that.
Yeah.
How many of y'all willing to catch the death penalty for something?
Man, listen, Galileo, y'all forget that these people that were actual disruptors, not Copernicus, but Galileo was a disruptor. Hume was a disruptor. These people weren't liked. They're part of the aristocracy, but they are telling these people, no. He is in the midst of those who think they are geniuses, and he is telling them that their philosophical premise is flawed. He goes against the state with all his bravado, with all of his anti-political savvy. So he doesn't know how to navigate these political streets. And what happens to him? What happens to him when he challenges the authority? A respected dude, part of the authority, challenges the authority, and he gets thrown in jail.
enslave, and put out. That's what happened to the Greek philosophers one by one. Y'all should have read that in Stolen Legacy, tell you that. Which is a pseudo book, but at least it had that part right for sure. All right, so yeah, the thing that made Africa powerful in a different city states and different nations, because Africa ain't one place. It's a variety of different cultures that form different civilizations, man. Don't put them all together like that, right? There's a fundamental understanding of how they came to their knowledge. You should respect their knowledge bases. Don't disrespect it by taking a modern knowledge base and put it back on them, right? They was champions at what they did. We never comparing what ancient West Africa did and ancient Northeast Africa did or South African societies did with the modern time. That is racism, white supremacy. That's exactly what the Europeans did. As a matter of fact, when Charles Darwin set out to make his voyage, he circumnavigated the globe. That's how he understood humans evolved. He looked at all the rest of the plants and all the rest of the animals, which the Egyptians and the West Africans didn't have access to. And he realized there's a common theme going on here. There's a connection somewhere in here. And he figured it out. But when he left, he had a mindset of thinking that European knowledge was the best. And that culture was better than everybody else. But when he started to talk to indigenous people, started to realize, man, if you just teach them their language, our language, they just as sharp as us. Right? They're just as valued as us. Damn, I messed it up. See? Change his thinking. So y'all the same way. Y'all stuck in the conscious community. Y'all stuck in this little small thing, and all you see is this, right? You gotta broaden your horizons, man. Y'all wake up one day and realize you done wasted 10 years on some bull crap. Your kids and left you, they done grown up in school, went against everything you thought you done told them. You know how often that's why a lot of these movements got a bunch of old people in them, because the kids like, come on, yo, that shit's trash. They just put your book in ChatGPT now. Let me see if this is a credible book. Dad, they say it's trash. Oh, they lying, you can't trust. Telling you, bro. All that stuff you talking about, your kids don't want to sell incense. They don't want to do all that. All that you talking about, I want to get I want to do something there. Tell you, man. Like Jehovah's Witnesses, yo. They don't generations of Jehovah's Witnesses. They be like, come on, man. I'd rather be a little more freer. So anyway, man, it's been a great show. Appreciate you sliding through, Cedric. When you going live? You ain't going live. I'm going live at 4.
Yeah, go live. We going. Well, do what you got to do. I don't. The series is over, so today, either way, it was just letting the hair down, giving everybody a little bit more room, because I've been keeping such a strict and tight environment. It was a necessary evil, but I think the opportunity opened up the space, give people a chance to talk about at least what we've been learning over the last couple of weeks. Should be interesting. But it's just it's a free for all Friday, so I'm gonna follow the flow. There's no agenda today.
All right, so I'm going live about 4. What time you think you going live?
No, if you're going live at 4, then we would be over in your backyard doing whatever.
I'm only gonna do it. I'm only going for 2 though. I'm leaving space. 2 hours sharp.
Yeah. You do 2 hours, then we could get in about an hour after that. I'll just go with the flow, but for sure we be going a little bit later. Probably do a hit the button show.
All right, yeah, we need to hit the button show. Beat up some of these pseudos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them more fair ground, right? Because in SED Talks, and that is an academic rubric, you do not have the same freedom that you would have in a hit the button show. So we need to create these distinctions, but still give our people an opportunity to ask questions, to conversate. I know SED Talks is not really like that, but that is a purpose intention. It is an academic rubric, and like Sa said, that needs to be respected. We actually up here with a purpose, with an agenda to teach. So allow us that space to teach, because you're going to get the opportunity to go back and forth. But do not undermine the academic work we're putting down. That's simply that needs to be respected. This synthesis you did today is of high quality level. This is college grade stuff. This is synthesis of history, of modern understanding, so we can ground ourselves. This is not just easy work, bro.
No, it's, and then you just gotta have the right read material to get locked all the way in, right? That's why I think these last lessons we done all had, specifically you, is super important because it puts us in the right framework, right? The whole, people was thinking that science is just data, right? What we did was we showed them it's more than just data. It's more than just a word. You can't just loosely apply the word anywhere, right? It's not grounded in your belief system. It's not grounded in your cultural container. All the ancient societies was, y'all just picking on Africa with that. It's everybody was stuck. The Greek philosophers swore the Greek philosophers had it.
Stuck.
They questioned the gods. Well, hell, last time I checked, man made the gods too. He was literally questioning their damn self. But it took a lot to get to the point where they say, yo, look, the hell with all, let's scrap all that. You got to scrap all that. Let's scrap all that and start right here. Literally. So, you know what I'm saying, man? It's
and people need to appreciate. Remember, it's 2,000 years of this scholastic system. It's ingrained. To be able, with all the pressure, to say, you know what, we need to throw it all out. That's brave. That's taking your own foundation from underneath you. That requires some character, right? And that's why you see it's a process in with steps and serendipity, because not everybody was willing to let go. You need to realize that there was a group that were firmly trying to reestablish the old God, right? And Newton was trying to keep the old God in place. Kant was trying to keep the old God in place. They simply were. So there's a serendipitous nature of science, that things happen just by happenstance, by accident. So that needs to also be taken into consideration. It's not a 1, 2, 3 process. That's why we look at the history and the revolution that took place.
Yeah, that's real talk right there, bro. All right, man. Look, let's get out of here, man. Appreciate everybody, man. Big up to Mel, man. Appreciate you, Shit'll Kill Army, man. Been in the trenches with me for a long time, bro. Big up, man. Appreciate you, man, all the way, man. All right, Cedric, appreciate you being in these trenches, man. It's hard work in here, man. Hard work in these trenches with these pseudos, man. With these people loving something they don't even understand. Right? Wanting something that they don't know what it took to get to it. It's crazy to me, yo. Let them people have their own regime of knowledge. Let them have their own set of circumstances that help navigate their world. Let them have it. Let the modern world have the modern world. The modern world is built on an ancient world. Very, very important to know that. And never mix it up, man. Let me see how I want to get y'all out of here, man. I'm going to get y'all out of here with this one, man. Man, make sure y'all just stay literate, man.
Stay literate. Lack of knowledge, it's a deficit, why don't you get with it? Can you get with it? Monumental test without it, why not get with it? Niggas get having fits, it never a quick fix. Trick doing tricks for preaching in the pulpit. The religious think science be a trick, but it's a religious trick. Pull out the blick, pray to Jesus, but still selling bricks. You still don't get it, you're still with it. Now you're in deficit, so what can science fix?
Can't fix your ignorance, your constant belligerence keeps y'all in a trick. In a trick. That shit's continue, stay at cap. You stay at cap.
What we do with that? We teach the teachers teach. Call cap on the preacher. If this was knowledge, you're in the bleachers. The pseudo slip, do some extra tricks. Back to not reaching you. We the teacher's teacher. Calling cap on the peach. The grift grifting. Where there's a grift, there's no lifting. The tide is shifted. We practice then we uplifted. It's a polished gift. So what can science fix?
Science can't fix your ignorance. Your constant belligerence keeps y'all in a trick.
Still in a trick.
Still in a trick. That shit's contained. You stay at cap. You stay at cap.
No time for the grift. We kill them pseudo. No, that's lift. Shit stay lit. We never quit. Not one bit. The literacy's lit. Killing them with the science shit. Teachers, teacher. Call cap on a peach. Stay, literate, steam. Lift.
Man, look, I'm your host, Bobby Banger. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to all the families of channels, man. Family of channels, man. Over here at sa.neter TV, man. I'm your host, man. I'm hosting sa.neter Studios, man. Big up to the brother, man. Big up to all the people trying to figure out this knowledge, man. Big up to anybody that's searching and seeking, man, because that's what we do. And with that, we out.